Recording. All right. Okay. All right. So today we'll be looking at the table of contents. So we have the introduction there. So basically, we just look at the stock market, just the understanding that we have. Some people, when you hear stock market, you think of a place where you go to lose money, and some people think of a place where you go to make great money. So both thoughts are correct. Depends on what one is looking at. But as after this class, I'm hoping that we'll be able to be on the second side of making profit. So for week one, we'll be looking at what is stock market, and we look at key investment terms. That's the term they use when we're talking about stocks. Then part two, we look at setting financial goal and assessing that chapter 5, assessing risk tolerant. When we get to chapter 6, we'll be looking at an opening account, but as in that's for like new people, as in most of us already have a broker that we open with, but somebody that is new, we introduce them to how to choose a brokerage and how to open an account. And part three, we're building a strong foundation. That's like diversification, as in different method of investment, cost average or dollar cost averaging. And we talk about chapter 9, index fund, and part 4. Then we talk about fundamental analysis. That's like, so chapter 10 to 12 will be like the major thing for some of us that already that were familiar with stock market, that you already have broken. So the fundamental is like how to read the company paper, like their paper. When I say paper, like their account, that we could see how they are doing, how well they are doing. Then lastly, we'll be looking at we've been looking at psychology and behavior. So this is the main thing. This one you cannot outlearn it. It's something one will have to be learning every day for a lifetime. This with our emotion, how we actually deal with the market. So this is how people make money, and this is how people lose money. So this one is gonna be an ongoing thing that will be, even once we are done with the 12-week class, this is gonna be an ongoing thing, as in we're sharing our experience and what we are learning, how we're able not to avoid like panic selling or FOMO, fear of missing out and all of those. So that's the table of content. Do we have any questions before I move to the PowerPoint for today?
No, sir.
All right.
I do not have any question.
Okay, so for today, we've been looking at where is this? We'll be looking at the first chapter of the lesson.
So where is this table of content?
Oh, I already closed. Oh, okay. I closed it already. But if you want, I can send you a copy when we are done. I already closed it, man.
Okay.
I bet if I can open again.
You can send it to my WhatsApp.
Okay. All right, when we're done, I'll send you already.
Okay.
I'm now
Thank you.
going to the PowerPoint now. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, okay, so are we able to see this?
Yes.
Yes.
So for this week, we've been looking at demystifying the stock market. That's making investing accessible and understandable. like probably around 2005 when I first heard about stock market. I'm wondering what is stock. And somebody explained the best they could do to me. So, but my own thought about stock market is that like a place you go to lose your money. That's like my own understanding that time. The telling story of how people lose money. So I wasn't interested until like 2020. That's like 15 years after when I was watching a video on YouTube. They're talking about, so there's a guy in California. So I'm wondering, what's he talking about? So anyway, but gradually I started picking interest watching his video, and that's how I got started with crypto, Bitcoin for a while. Then 2021, I started delving into stocks. Yeah, but 2022 is when I actually started trading, like day trading. But I lost a lot of money there. That's 2022, but close to the end of 2022, something happened. As in, I opened with Ameritrade, and I also opened with Weeble. So I was doing day trading on Weeble. But Ameritrade, they stopped me out. They call it like a pattern trader if you trade more than 3 times in a week. So by mistake, I did, and then they stopped me because I didn't have more than 25,000 in the account, so they need me to bring my account up to 25,000 to be able to day trade with them. But I decided not to close the account, kept the money there, it's now up to 25. But that time there's like the trending sector was NIG, that's oil. So I will buy Occidental and just leave it there like second day or 3 days. But at the end of the year, I found out that the day trader that I'm even spending hour with, like I wake up 8 a.m. every day, staying there till 2, 4. I lost money. And the one that I'm not even spending time with, I actually gain. So that's how I now stay with what I call trend or trending trading, as in just the sector or the company that is moving is what I watch out for. So that's the kind of method I use now. But I learned my lesson. I make that decision based on what happened in 2022. Day trading that I actually stay with all day. I lost a lot of money. The one that I just buy and leave it there based on the news that is going in this oil sector, that actually made me a lot of money. So that's I decided, instead of wasting my time, give myself a headache every day, why not just keep doing this, as in just buy what is moving. Then in 2023, I actually make about 150% of my money. In 2023, that's trading NVIDIA at that time. NVIDIA was the one. Actually, I do talk to Bravo, then I could actually predict what the next move will be. Not exactly, but at least I will tell him that I'm very sure very soon it's gonna get to 750. After that again, I will say like 950, then 1,000. And it was happening. So, but basically I have idea of where it has been. But so I was able to make a lot of money in 2023 doing that. Then 2024, I did the same thing, but now with NVIDIA this time around. But for the past 2 years, that has been working for me. So I quit day trading. That's a lot of headache. I would rather make money than just punishing myself day trading. All right, I don't know if you have any question about the stock market or your experience about trading in stock market.
Yes, sir. You have actually hit it nail in the head, sir. All this, I mean, we all have our own story, right? One of the things that is out there is that the determination to make a breakthrough. And when you look at your wallet, when you look at your bank accounts, and you realize that you have a savings account, and you realize that that savings account, you put in your money there, but that money, like maybe in a situation where you put about maybe $40,000 in your account, you realize that the amount that is coming for you, I mean, as a return, is nothing to write home about. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Then you actually say, what do I do? And that's one of the reasons why what prompts some of us to say, okay, we got to do something to improve ourselves, our finances. And all these things actually are the quest that we have, especially myself and my wife. We went to see financial advisor in the bank, and we want to actually get with the broker to start investing through them. And what it told us right there is that we realized that the amount that we're going to be paying for to a broker, and the amount that we're going to be realizing just doesn't make sense too. Then and that actually give us a kind of soul searching, right? Then look at it. There are options to invest yourself, and just hope that you're going to get some breakthrough through that. But one thing I want to mention based on what you've actually stated right now was that, like, I started with, stock trading, coming with a Nigeria experience. I started with Nigeria stock, right? I was a little bit reluctant to actually do trading right here. It was my brother in Nigeria that keep on telling me, like, why don't you do stuff where you are right there? Why are you doing it in Nigeria? He was the one that introduced me to it in Nigeria. But at the same time, he want me to be bold and just do it. Then I put money to it. Then I started doing it here and there, near misses, sometimes the low big again. But here's what I want to point out. Right before I retired, like 2021, I call Bradley and I say, Bradley, I think I've actually figured this thing out. I say I've figured it out. Like, I was so bent in starting a day trading. And I believe if I start that thing, I will be making about $10,000 at least every month. That if I actually perfect my act, I could make 10,000 in a week. So I put all the money together. I mean, initially I put about 30 grand on it. And, I wanted to start day trading. So when I started putting the number together, I realized that all these things that I was just thinking is that easy was not that easy. And I think I went, if Bradley could remember, I went by and said, Bradley, I don't think this is actually, when I was saying it, Bradley said, we're going to see. Like, he was optimistic with me too. Like, okay, I'm going to see what you're going to do that's going to be different. Then maybe if you make it that way, maybe you're going to teach us something that we don't know. I know he has experienced a lot of things. He's probably just looking at me and saying, what's this guy's going to do? Then, lo and behold, I realized it was not that easy, but at the same time, every day we are learning something from doing this thing. We've lost money, and at the same time, you are encouraged to, like, I can do something with this thing.
Yeah, that's a good share, as in we're all, but until we get into it, we wouldn't know what it actually takes.
Exactly.
So you can look at it, how hard can it be? And me, myself too, I thought I'm going to be making 500 every day. That's translate to 10,000 per month. 10,000 like a good money to me. So I figure 500 per day. But that's based on my experience in 2021, 2020. I was buying the penny stock, like they are like $1.80 something. But by second day, they already double. So I figure if I just put only 5,000 here, next day, I'm gonna be making at least 10% every day. That's what I thought. I actually reduced my job to part-time.
Wow.
That I actually left my full-time job and pick up a part-time job, thinking that every day I'm going to be making 500. So, but in the end, I had to tell myself, brother, get back to work, yo. it looked like this thing is not working out, so I had to go back to her and tell them I want full time again, because the day
Yes, sir.
trading, yes,
That bring the question, sir. Like, you
okay,
know, we're talking about in this category. Now we're talking about experts, right?
yes,
I would say personally, even the so-called experts, they cannot really pinpoint a perfect way to do this thing.
yeah. There is
So,
no perfect way.
yeah.
Everybody, I mean, it just like it's a game of probability, but with this knowledge, you are able to start a card
Mm,
as on I mean, like a profitable probability towards yourself. That means the card is stacked at least highly on your side. As in, there's no perfect way. Even Warren Buffett doesn't, and nobody know what the market will do. But based on their experience, they figure out a way to make profit out of it. That's all we could do, figuring out to make profit out. But there's no perfect way of doing it. All right,
okay.
sir, go ahead.
Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, so you back to me, sir. So I mean, everything has a pattern, and
Yes,
like you mentioned. So the only reason why I'm actually trying to put this one now is that if we actually find a way to have a strategy, and at the
yes.
same time um figure out a pattern that we can do this thing, we can really make something out of it. And
Yeah, that's what I said. That I mean, yeah, we're saying the same thing as in I'm saying, but when I say perfect way, as in like a one way of doing it, there are so many way of doing it, but at the end of the day, you have to come up with your own strategy, what we
oh,
call
okay, okay,
edge.
okay, 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 okay.
So the way I'm doing it is not different from other people, but it at one point had to become my own method, as I could pick some principle from how Warren Buffett is doing his own, but I will now make it mine, how it worked for me. Like what I meant by that, he sold Apple, he sold Bank of America, but that doesn't mean I have to be selling. We are not in the same position. What I meant by that, he has like 130 something billions. Okay, so me, I only have thousands of dollars. As in, we are not in the same position. To him now, making 5% or 4% from the treasury is okay with him. But to me, I need more than that at this point. But where he is in life, or yes, 4% that the treasury is paying is good enough for him. In as much he's not losing money. So sometimes his move doesn't mean we have to follow suit, but we could learn something from them.
Okay, okay. That's I mean, we're making the same point, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
I think so. I'm hoping that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have an edge, like you have a method that you're using. So, like I said, from that 2022, close to the end of 2022, nobody can talk me to day trading anymore now. I've learned my lesson. I used to tell Pastor that time that is, even though the day that I made money, I don't feel all right until I go outside to exercise. As in my head will be like, bubbling because you're making so much decision in a split of second that your mind is just running so wide. As even when I make profit, is when I go outside to work or go for a walk or exercise that I'm gonna feel all right. If not, you're just thinking so much as in when you are in the once you put your money there, your leg will be shaking, and no, I'm talking about 100,000. As in 100,000 there, I'm looking at it going down to 90. Ah. All right, so, but I'm just saying what I'm doing now is it's work better for me than that day trading. So at the end of the day, one we have to come up with what works for you. And that thing should be making profit. So but by God's grace, 2023, 2025, I can probably say I'm happy with the method I'm using now. But I'm still learning every day.
Okay, sir. So since we have this platform now, I know you're
Yeah,
going by a PowerPoint and a content that you like to discuss.
yeah,
I know
Yes.
Bradley had brought something up before. I don't know if you remember. And one of the things is that like individually we can look at the performing stocks or the likely to perform stock that maybe when we come on this platform, we can look at those stocks and say, okay, these are 5 likely stocks that I think might actually go somewhere. We are not advising anybody to buy it, but just because of the fact that you research on it, and that will give us the opportunity to be able to look at, okay, Pastor Ajayi have looked at this one, and this is what he said about it. Maybe when you now go back and you actually looking at what is out there on a given day, and you could say, okay, I'd have somebody who have actually researched this stock. So it's going to enable you to make an informed decision at a split of time that is not, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, because you know somebody who actually like to invest have already look at it. So I'm saying like it could be an additional input that we can actually put onto this, like maybe it could be the last 5 minutes or the last 3 minutes of our discussion, that maybe I have this 3 stock that I just look at, and I believe like there's a potential for this stock in the next maybe a couple of months or maybe long term, stuff like that. I just chip in that one.
Yeah, that's welcome. That's why I put it in 2 sections. The first section we look at the training, then the next section will now be free discussion. Free meaning you have question, like the idea you brought. As in we now free, like sharing idea together will be this next section. You understand what I said, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, many as in we'll be able to do it. So, but last week I just thought that I should be able to share what I prepare. That's for the people that are new to stocks. As in what I put in now, you already know that the marketplace is well known, publicly traded company I bought. But this is just for the benefit of new people that are new to stock market. So the first portion or the first section, I will run through it. Then after that, we will now be free to actually share our thought together. Not necessarily teaching now. We are all sharing. As in the minute second section, we will be able to do that, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Mommy, what do you think about that, man?
That's a good idea.
Okay, yes, man.
All right, Radele there.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm trying to learn now. I'm in a class, so I just want to. I want to try. I'm waiting for you to finish the training there for the first start.
Okay, all right, that's good. All right, are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I saw the PowerPoint now. I saw the PowerPoint.
Okay.
So
All right, so continuing with the training. So we said the stock market, that's a place where shares of companies are traded. They are bought and sold. The share represent ownership in a company. I believe we already know that. And by investing in stock, you become a part owner of that company. So for example, if we buy a share of Apple, you become a part owner. And so a good way of looking at it, like Warren Buffett will say, is that you should see yourself as an investor, like a company owner. So stock are not just numbers, they are not just symbol, but you are actually owning a company, a part owner. So when we look at it that way, we look at it as a business that you're actually investing in. All right, moving on to the next slide. So next, we're looking at IPO, initial public offering. How do companies raise money? As in, what's the purpose of them going public? Why do they have stock that people are buying? So number one is a way for them to raise money. That's the first time. So they call it initial public offering. So it allows companies to sell share to the public for the first time. And the fund rate can be used for various purposes, such as expansion, research and development, or debt reduction. So the last thing we look at is the role of stock exchanges. So stock exchanges is where what's it called? The share has actually traded. You have your broker, as in you buy share through your brokers, but your broker actually send it to the stock exchange. That's where, the people in New York, they're actually physical people there in a room, people shouting and running around. But for now, we could not do it online. But before, that's how it used to be done. As in, like, physical people actually shouting the number out. But now we could do it online. So these are examples of stock market, stock exchanges. We have New York one, we have NASDAQ, we have London. But this is where the stock actually being traded. But your broker just channel when you place your order that you want to buy something, your broker actually send it through to the stock exchange. All right, question and answer. That's the training for today. As in, we look at what the stock market is, initial public offering, and stock exchanges. Do we have any question?
No, sir.
All right. Okay, so I will close it. Then we now have like a general discussion of what is going on in the market. And if you have any input or any question, we can discuss it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me stop the recording for this section. Come on.